One of the most underrated games of the late 2012 is Sleeping Dogs, set in a contemporary Hong Kong, which is split into 4 districts named after the regions of the city. We follow the story of Wei Shen, a former San Francisco police officer who was transferred to Hong Kong police force and assigned the task to infiltrate and destroy the Triad organization known as the Sun On Yee. Shen needs to balance between completing his police missions while committing crimes to prove himself to the Triads. This does include killing, stealing, and turf wars like a real police. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the story and the evolution of gameplay the more you progress through the game. I was gonna go 100%, but then I realized this is a sandbox GTA-like game, which means going 100% is gonna take me fucking forever. We go off with Wei Shen attempting to do a drug deal in Aberdeen. The police are also spying on the deal, but unfortunately an unaware security guard was there. He tried to shoo everyone away, but the drug dealer happened to have the item from TF2 and sliced him. And so we get chased by the police, and now we get shown how to parkour. The way that you parkour in this game is that if you leave the A button pressed, you will automatically go over fences and everything like that, but if you press A at the right time, you will do it perfectly. But if you just hold down the A button without pressing it at the right time, you just look like a fucking idiot. We do end up getting caught by the police and then put in prison, but that's where Shen meets an old friend, Jackie Ma, who offers to introduce Shen to the members of the gang once they are released. Wei Shen then gets put into an interrogation room, and that's when it's revealed that he's an undercover cop whose arrest was part of a police operation headed by SP Thomas Pendrew and Inspector Raymond Mack. The operation was to infiltrate the Water Street branch of the Sun On Yee. Shen meeting up with Jackie was all planned out by the police so they could introduce him to one of the leaders, Winston Chu. When we get released, Jackie will start taking us to Winston. Of course, Jackie isn't the most respected of thugs, so we get into a fight quite easily. And now we get taught how to do hand-to-hand combat, which is with the X button most of the time. Tapping the X button will do a light attack, and then holding it down will do a heavy attack. Just like you do in the Batman Arkham series, you can counter someone's attacks. You do this by pressing the Y button when you see an enemy flashing red, indicating that they're gonna attack you. And you can also press the B button to grab an enemy. You can either choose to pummel the enemy by grabbing them and then pressing the X button, or you can dash them into a flashing red object which instantly kills them. After Shen introduces himself to Winston, he then joins the team and gets sent on various jobs and assignments, usually against a rival Triad branch known as the Jade Gang, led by Sam Dog Eyes Lin. Even the one where you have to be a bus driver. This is not a joke. After a few missions with the Triad, the police decides to give us an assignment to arrest Popstar, a drug supplier for the Triad. After we manage to arrest Popstar, the Water Street branch suspect that Shen is a cop, though he manages to make Winston relent, and he still manages to shoot someone else. He's a hungry boy for murder. To prove that he's not a cop, the Water Street boy sends Shen to kill Suwa, one of the Dog Eyes drug dealers, but Shen instead brings him alive. Gaining Winston's trust, he lets Shen take over his position if something ever were to happen to him. After doing many Triad missions and doing many cases for the police and also learning how to use a gun, which is literally just like any other game except RB is to reload, which I don't know why I fucking hate it.
My wedding is going to be perfect, you hear? Perfect! You want this cake, you're going to have to pry from my dead fingers, you hear?
The attacks on each of his Triads properties accumulate into the killing on Winston and his fiancée on their wedding by men posing as members of the rival 18K Triad. The leader of the Sun On Yee, David Wah-Lin, aka Uncle Po, is critically wounded in the attack, but is saved by Shen. As a reward, Shen is promoted to Red Pole of the Sun On Yee and takes over Winston's position in the Water Street branch. Huh? He just phased in through the car. Now that Shen has more time on his hands, he hunts down Winston's killer, and it is revealed that Dog Eyes instigated the attack. Shen then captures Dog Eyes, who is then killed by Winston's mother and literally turned into soup. Also wanted to mention today's sponsor, which is me. Even though this video is quite short compared to the ones that I usually make, I still have to say that this does take a lot of time to make. So if you do enjoy my videos, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it would help a lot. Trust me, it really does. Subscribing is free to do, and you can change your mind in the future. And if there is a game that you want me to do a video on, you can leave a comment. I do occasionally take requests. And I have also been considering streaming. I don't know what platform to stream on exactly, so if you guys want to give me some tips, if it's Kick, Twitch, or even YouTube, just say in the comments as well, look into it. But that probably won't happen for a while, since upgrading my internet is going to cost me 2 arms and 3 legs. Well, that's enough for self-promotion. Kiwi, back to the video. Something to mention as well is that Po was sent to the hospital ever since the attack on the wedding, and now we find out that he has unfortunately died in the hospital. We don't exactly know how Uncle Po died, but we can only assume it was due to the attack. As a branch leader, Shen becomes embroiled in a power struggle over the leadership of the Sun On Yee, siding with Broken Nose Yang against another branch leader, Henry Big Smile Lee. After Uncle Po's funeral, during which they were attacked by the 18K members again, Well, I'm not using a grenade launcher anymore, fuck me. Big Smile Lee reluctantly agrees to an election that will decide the leader of the Sun On Yee, but promises retaliation if he does not win. Also, Shen refuses Pendrew's order to get off the case out of fear of Big Smile Lee taking over. Big Smile Lee orders attacks against other Sun On Yee branches in attempt to eliminate the competition and intimidate them into voting for him. Also, when I was fighting Big Smile Lee's people, this happened. No way. The guy's stuck. The guy's stuck at the door. Oh, come on! Oh, thank Christ. This does include kidnapping Jackie and handing him to the 18K as a way to get rid of Shen. Shen receives a text message from Jackie to meet him, but finds Jackie hanged and fucking disemboweled on a pipe in an alleyway. This was extremely sad since Jackie was just saved by Shen a few minutes ago from being buried alive by the 18K and promised him and himself to live a normal life. It is going to be pretty hard to live a normal life without the organ that helps you shit. Shen is then knocked out and wakes up greeted by Liu Shen Chong. I'm about to butcher every name in this fucking game. A feared triad enforcer who knows Shen is a cop. Shen is tortured, and I mean severely tortured. Like, they drill in basically a new knee to him and replace his toes with nothing. But he does manage to escape, kills the rest of the group, and also kills Tong in the process with his own knife. But in the cutscene, I just punch his face in, okay. He then proceeds to assault Big Smile Lee's compound by killing all of his men, and he does manage to reach Lin Yan, who reveals to Shen that Pendrew actually sold him out. Big Smile Lee and Shen end up fighting as the final fight in the game, but this ends up just being a normal fight with the enemy having way more health than anyone else. Killing Lee in the very PG way of throwing him headfirst into a fucking ice chipper, and thus ending the long and violent civil war and allowing Zhang to become the chairwoman of the Sun On Yee. With the deaths of many senior ranking gang members, Shen is commended on his work but is informed by Mac that Pendrew has been promoted to Interpol and is out of his reach. After Shen finds out that he can't reach to Pendrew, he does receive video evidence in the mail from Zhang showing that Pendrew killed Uncle Po by injecting lethal chemicals into his IV. After leaking the footage, Shen is able to incriminate Pendrew, and Pendrew says he's going to die in prison since Shen made sure that everyone in prison knows that he was the one that killed Uncle Po. And since Uncle Po was highly respected, he's probably right, he gonna die. And so Shen returns to work on the police force. Zhang, who is now the leader of the Sun On Yee, watches Shen from afar and orders the remaining Sun On Yee members to leave him alone due to his loyalty to her. After this, you are now at the endgame where you're able to do any of the side missions, any of the races at your leisure. And that's how the story ends for Sleeping Dogs. Bye!